Okay. Yeah, I think. Should we just clap?
You do whatever you
Do
want.
you want me to clap too?
Yeah, you can-
Okay.
you can clap.
No, let's clap together. Okay.
So thank you for coming to the podcast.
Yeah.
I think today's topic will probably be more on the women's football, US, UK, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you just, anyone who doesn't know, you just tell about how you started football
Okay.
and and how you started it really.
Yeah. All right. I'm Brianna Vasali. I'm from the United States. Clearly, my voice doesn't sound British at all. I started playing football when I was like 4. But it was like in the church league and it was for daycare basically. But I was picking daisies, and then from there kind of started to keep kicking on. Yeah.
So what made you want to play football really? Like, was anyone inspiring you to play football?
Yeah. I think at first it was something that I was really passionate about, and I'm really competitive. Yeah. Hence why I'm now a pro athlete. But I think my stepdad and my brother were really people that pushed me to be, I should just say my dad, sorry. My dad and my brother were really people that pushed me to keep going in my career and in my sport. So I would definitely say those people are people that I always look to when I'm having a bad day or, so those people pushed me when I was young and even now. So, yeah.
Were there any like female footballers or male footballers who inspired you, who you look up to?
I think one of the female footballers that I look up to currently is Crystal Dunn. I just think she's amazing, and she knows how to go about it in a fun and exciting way. She actually was here, and she played for Chelsea for some time. But I just like the way she plays. She's kind of a ball of energy, and I feel like I'm pretty similar in my ball of energy kind of ness. I think growing up, I had a coach that played for the Mexican national team, and she was small like me, and she really liked technical and footwork and kind of inspired the way that I play now. So thriving on the ball, she was really, really good, and I just think, women like that really have helped pave the way for my journey even.
Were there any challenges or difficulties playing football growing up or even now?
Yeah. I think my size is always something that gets brought up by coaches, but I don't know if you've been to a game and you've seen I don't really play like size is a problem. So it's interesting to get kind of written off at times. And even in my career, I'd had coaches say, not this game, it's a little too physical for you, or we need more of an aerial presence. And sometimes it's frustrating just because I feel like I still can compete at times with players, and actually I know I can compete. So I think my height becomes something that I get kind of discriminated about without saying that, because I feel like that's such a horrible connotation. But I think my height and my size, I've always been told, you're not going to make it in university. I ended up thriving there. I was told you're never going to make it to a national team. I ended up playing with the national team, and then you're never going to be a professional. And I'm here today, 1 year in. So
So is this your first year as a professional, if I'm mistaken?
So this is my first year. It's been a lovely year. It's been interesting because we're all a brand new team, and some of us, it's our first go at having a professional contract. But I think the girls have been fantastic, and same with the coaching staff. They've all made things feel very open and welcoming, and there's really no hierarchy or kind of egos in our locker room. So expressing yourself on the field, you feel very comfortable because you're doing it with a great group of staff and girls, and I should say women. We are women. It's been an amazing first year for me, at least, because I've been able to come into my own almost.
So, I mean, West Ham as a club, how has it helped you develop as a footballer for the past, I would say, season, really?
I think in general, the league is very different than the U.S. league. In the U.S., it's more of a professional athlete first, and then soccer players second. Whereas here, it's more of like football and then athleticism. Not to say that there aren't athletes in the league. I think there's some great athletes, but I think there's more of like a technical emphasis and a tactical emphasis. So this year, getting used to understanding different systems of play. Because I've obviously played in different systems of play, but also like executing it and understanding that your opponent is just as technical, if not more technical than you are. Whereas in the past, I've been the most technical and not necessarily the best athlete, but it's kind of the reverse in this situation. So this year has been interesting because it's been a growth year for me in this league. And I think the staff have been very patient with me and have helped me grow and encouraged me. I think even from the way we play, it's just been a very good environment for me to learn and grow. Right. So, and also having the likes of Claire Rafferty, Jilly Flaherty, and
very experienced players. They've won a couple of FA Cups leagues.
Yes,
so I think to have them in your team, especially for
even Julia Simiches, like it's just amazing to be even in the locker room with not only like the Chelsea players, but also like a very international squad. I mean, like Julia's German, and then Alicia is Swiss and. You know, we have 3 Dutchies. I call them Dutchies, sorry. Okay. 3 Dutch. Sorry. And then 1 Scottish and then 1 Irish. And then there's like 3 Americans that somehow are here and the rest are British. And so it's been a quite diverse type. Like there's different types of football around the world. And I've come from a different style. So learning the English style is just completely different, but also integrating different cultures too and how they play. Like Julia plays so different than I think the English style of football, but she's great. And like, I love the way Julia plays, but so, I mean, it's just been an interesting time kind of finding my first year.
Like you said, there are 3 Americans in the team. Did you help each other settle in the country or?
Definitely. Cause I think luckily I had Brooke because she's been abroad for quite some time now and she's moved around several countries. So for me, obviously, I was very homesick because the weather's slightly different and seasonal depression's a real thing. So I'm used to like 80 degrees and being in the sun all the time. And that's not England at all.
Like I moved here 3 years ago and from where I'm from, it's like sun year round.
Exactly.
So coming here when it's cold and then spring, the changing is just
It's
difficult.
just so much. So, I mean, having Brooke here and like having her gone through like a new training environment and she's also like very similar to the way I was brought up. So it was really nice having her and Erin because Erin also is like kind of goofy and fun and so it's been nice to have them. But even like Jane Ross has been a very big like friend of mine this year and she's definitely helped me like settle in and me and Leanne ended up being like really good friends too. So like I don't know. It's been all around. It's super awesome to have the Americans because we all have the same cultures and we miss the same candies and cereals and stuff that we can't get here. But for the most part, everyone's been really nice and like helpful with understanding like it's pretty rough being so far from home. So
like what's your opinion right now of the Super League as a league itself? Like,
I think it's one of the strongest leagues in the world right now. I don't know if I'm being biased, but I've played somewhat in the NWSL and it's got class players there, but I think from an overall structural standpoint, I think the Super League here is like doing a fantastic job, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. I think this year has been very special, and I think you'll see moving forward when we get more funding and more, I guess, coverage, just like we're doing right now. You'll see a substantial growth and development and even some of the players, they're going to be just so world-class in this league. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
So, like, Barclays is going to be the new title sponsor. What's your thoughts, opinions on that?
It's effing awesome. I'm not going to say it, but it's freaking awesome. Who would have thought, right? I mean, it's pretty awesome. But that's the thing. Like, we need more companies like Barclays and other huge financial corporations that can be able to back our league, because I think once you see that, you'll see the quality come in and you'll see more of a substantial, or how do you say, I'm losing the word right now, but basically a sustainable league. That's the word. So you'll see a league that has a really strong infrastructure, and you're not really worried about clubs folding financially just because the league is able to provide that infrastructure and how you should finance like teams and other things like that. And I think it's going to be amazing.
I've been to quite a few of your home games, and I see that you don't get the crowd that you deserve. You play good football, but the crowd isn't there to support you.
Yeah.
Like, I think the money you make from the ticket sales won't cover enough for any, so...
No, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. So I think with Barclays helping, you may be able to get more crowds in, more television coverage, more... fill the stadium, really.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble is no one really knows about it. Like, I even went to France. I went to Paris for the weekend, and I sat next to this couple. They had no idea that the World Cup was coming.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't even know where it was going to be held.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys know that France is supposed to be like one of the better teams in this tournament. Yeah. But like, I think that comes from media coverage, like you were saying. And I think the more we have of it, the more people are aware. And even in Romford, which that's where our club accommodation is, yikes. We meet people and they have no idea. They have no idea. And we're in Romford. Our stadium's in Romford. We train in Romford. We live in Romford, and it's shocking. But I think that's just because culturally it's been a male-dominated sport. But truthfully, like, moving forward, I think women's football is slightly different than male football. But it's, like, really enjoyable to watch, I think, in my opinion. So maybe, again, I am being biased, but I think people will start to realize that it's world-class. It's not just... people having a kick about, I guess. Yeah.
So, like, living in Romford is very different to living in Central. How do you adjust to life there? Is it hard? Is it a difficult area to...
I just think it's slightly different just because I'm not used to not having the beach, and that's very inland, and there's not really much going on. That's why I said yikes, because there's not really, like, much going on. Then again... someone who's probably lived in Romford their whole life she has no idea what she's talking about, which is probably true. So I think you'll find me a lot in central London just because there's loads of different neighborhoods and places for me to hang out and grab some coffee and just chill. So it is slightly different, and it's really different from California. So again, the temperature and, like, I think culturally too, it's just very, very different.
It is. So you've played here and in the States now. So how would you compare the football? Which would be more competitive in your opinion? Not leagues-wise, in terms of just how football is being perceived in most places.
I think there's a lot of world-class players. I mean, if you go through the NWSL roster, they're all pretty much national team players. That being said, I think... it's a faster game in the U.S. Here it's a little bit slower, but it's more tactical, and it's not as transitional because the football here is more technical, and the players are not going to give you the ball as easily as they will in the NWSL.
Right,
and it's just really hard to compare, really, because you do have really world-class players in the NWSL, but also they're just different styles of football. So I'm going to remain neutral on this question.
It's okay. So this year is your first year as you're professional as a club as well, and you managed to make it to the FA Cup final. How was the run as a whole?
I think it's a fairy tale. It's like a dream come true, really. I couldn't have imagined this. If someone told me this at the beginning of the year, I'd say, okay, calm down. But... it's amazing for me too because it's my first year here and to be part of something so big. And I keep comparing it for all my American friends, my not so football oriented American friends. I'm like, it's like the Super Bowl of England. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Can you believe it? But it's kind of freaking awesome. So it's amazing that I get to be a part of it my first year. And I think in general, like the coolest thing for me is that I get to learn and be in an environment that's such like a big time environment for my first year, and like just be a sponge and like soak in everything that's going on. Course, and some of the players, like their wealth of knowledge and experience is just amazing, and I just feel so grateful to be a part of it.
Like on average, you probably play in front of about 1,000, probably max. People. You probably play in for 30,000 at Wembley. Have you played in front of that crowd before?
Yeah, so the 3,000 at Reading was quite intimidating, I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize it until I went to sub on, and I was like looking at the field, and then I was like, holy crap, there's lots of people here. But at first, like, it wasn't a factor, and then I was like, whoa. But then I think once you start playing, it's not a big deal. But I can't even imagine, like, 30,000, because that was 3,000. So you multiply that times 10, and I'm like, whoa, that's big.
Wembley will be considered as like the home of English football. All the cup finals we're going to being played there. So for you, like being a first year here, what do you expect from your game there? Really?
Yeah. I think we're the underdog, so it's kind of exciting too because we have that little story going as well. Yeah. But for me personally, I think it's just amazing to be a part of something so big. My first year. Yeah. But again, not that I don't feel pressure, but it's more I want to enjoy it and like soak in the present moment of being there and being part of history for the club even because it's our first professional year and we made it to Wembley. I don't know any other West Ham teams that could probably top that, honestly. But I mean, hopefully we can pull it off. But I think same sentiment for the girls. We're all very competitive and we're going to want to win the game. But hopefully we can focus on the game and not the occasion of being at Wembley. Of course, but also, though, I think there's more pressure on Man City to win. So
we've been favourites, probably like one of the better teams.
England. So, and I think we are going to put up a really good fight because obviously, let's not talk about the Man City loss that we first played.
Yep.
But the second game, I think our performances have been improving and we do perform better up against some of the stronger teams in the league. So knowing that we're going against Man City, it's going to be a pretty damn good game, in my opinion. It's really going to be worth watching. So,
I think like in the beginning, you probably just got used to each other. You haven't played with each other as much as you have, but as you grew as a club, as a unit, you probably got better.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think from the beginning of the year too, we were setting benchmarks throughout the year and we're like, okay, let's get to non-relegation points. How many points is that? 8. Right. Okay, cool. We got 8. Congrats. Like literally we wrote it on our whiteboard saying, let's get 8 points. We got 8 points. And then from there it's like, okay, let's try to go for mid-table. Then we were like, we struggled through injuries and
of course.
Kind of a lot of setbacks, as you already know, because Julia's been out a lot and same with some of the other players that we've had. And so we're kind of dealing with that. And we had a smaller squad. We knew that going into the year, and that's why we kind of like set our expectations a little lower.
Yeah.
But the fact that we just made it to Wembley is, again, I don't think you could have walked in the locker room and been like, yeah, you guys are going to Wembley. We would all laugh because it's our first year together as a team, first year as a club professionally, and so many different cultures. And I'll tell you, language barriers is a real thing on the field sometimes. Like Cho and I'm like looking at her and she'll try to pass on a player and I'm like, because she wasn't able to say it quick enough, or even for Julia, like trying to understand Matt's Cockney accent. Like, my God, it's so hard. And I think even the Cockney rhyming slang, have you ever heard that? Yeah, so it was a bit difficult even for myself, let alone the poor players that English is their second language. So it's been an interesting year coming together as a team, but I think, it's crazy to think we're going to Wembley.
So, like, is language a big problem? Not problem, but is it a big factor when it comes to playing football? Like, how do you communicate with those who can't really speak English as well as the other players, like yourself or the...
Yes, I think it is. However, like, I was explaining it to, I forget who was on the team, but I was saying I love playing with Cho because I know exactly what she's doing. And so it's easy. And football's the language between us at times. I will say, though, like, passing on players and sometimes defensively when you're trying to hold shape, but also, like, pick up players at the same time. It's a little difficult when you're trying to shout, man on your left shoulder, or she's coming, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's difficult in those instances, but I would say football is a very awesome language to use on the field. And even, you know, it's so easy to get around it at the same time, but obviously in the heat of the moment, it's a little difficult. But I think for the most part, our foreigners are really good at English. Like, they're very good. And I'll include myself in foreigner. Okay. Considering my English is not the same English. So, Okay, but our foreigners are really good. Yeah.
Like, you're coming to the end of the season now. Where will you want to finish the table? What are your goals?
I think realistically we can't win the league right now, just points-wise. But that being said, I think all of us really want to pick up the last 9 points. And it's a known fact. No one's writing it off just because we've made it to Wembley. I think we're very, very competitive people. And I even said it from the beginning. I was like, screw not trying to get relegated. Let's go after Chelsea. Let's go after the Arsenal. Let's go after Man City. I don't care. Like, we have nothing to lose. And so I think we still have that same mentality of, like, we're not going to just be satisfied being mid-table, even though that's where we can only finish at this point. Yeah, of course, I think we're definitely on fire for the next games, and Wembley is something that we're still going to use these games to prepare for. Yeah. So, I mean, who wants to go into Wembley on a losing streak? Of course, yeah. That's just not...
It'll ruin your confidence.
Totally. And so I think moving forward, like, these games are just as crucial, if not more important than Wembley at this point. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, like, what's the club's expectations or your expectations for next season? Have the club set any, or have you set any for yourself as of yet?
Yeah. I think the club wants to continue pushing to be some of the one of the best teams in the league. I think Matt specifically is on fire, considering he made it to Wembley this year. So I think he's gonna definitely use that to push the momentum for next year. For myself, I think breaking into a national team, so either be U.S. or England, that's my next big thing football wise. So yeah, I don't know what that exactly looks like. Yeah, but I think I need to keep working hard and developing as a player. But this experience has already added to that development. So up and up from here. Yeah.
So on BBC they have the documentary Britain's Youngest Football Boss. Mm-hmm. How is it like with Jack as pretty much your boss?
My boss.
Being probably younger than the entire team, and how's it like with cameras following you around all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, but Jack's great. Like, Jack is very professional, and yesterday was my birthday, and he's like, "Happy birthday," and I sent back, "Happy birthday," or "Thank you, boss." Like, I don't know. Like, I like to tease him just because it's an interesting situation, but I think Jack is very professional. I think also he's very intelligent because he's surrounded himself with quality people, and I think it can be intimidating for him at times with 30-year-old women, and you're just 19, I think it is. Yeah. Right? So it's like, and you're in charge of us and finances and stuff like that. It could be very intimidating, but I think he's been very class, and I think it helps to have his dad being someone that's gone before him. But I think, he's had a huge load this year that he's had to take on. Yeah. And I don't know if he was ready for it at the beginning, but he's done a phenomenal job. Yes, so, I mean, it's been interesting to see. And I think the Football Boss show is originally it was pitched to be about us, but it is very interesting, I think, for people to see someone so young try to take on such a big task. And I don't think people realize, like, women's football is huge. It's a big deal to take on a club. Mm-hmm.
Especially making it new. Like, it's a new club, completely new players, new coaches, everything.
The league is technically the first professional year.
Yep, it is, yeah.
So it's new in so many different ways. Like, new club, new team, new coach, new environment, like, new in general just to manage a club. Yeah. Let alone so many new factors and so many different things. So I think he's done a world-class job, in my opinion. Yeah. Has there been hiccups? Of course. Everybody has that in their club. I think that's just part and parcel of playing football in general. Like, you can't predict injuries. You can't predict how results are going to pan out at times. Like, just there's so many things that's just our industry, though. It's performance-based. So I think he'll keep pushing to be his best, but I think he's done a great job for his first year. And I think having the camera people around has been interesting at times, but they miss so much of, like, our character and our personality. Mm-hmm. So hopefully in the future they'll put some bloopers together or something, because we're kind of a fun team. Yeah. But I feel like people miss that because they get to watch Jack do his job. But if I could pitch to Netflix, come make a West Ham women's thing, because you guys will not be disappointed. We're all crazy. Yeah.
Is it uncomfortable being with cameras around you all the time, or have you got used to it?
Like, at first it was, but then, like, they'll be in the changing room and I'm just like, whoop. Like, I don't know. You just don't you don't notice them after a while. There's only been a few times where I'm like, can you move out of my way? Yeah, of course, I need to get through. But, like, other than that, they're really nice people, and I've really enjoyed working with, I think it's called Curious Films is the production company. Yeah. They're all very great people, and they're willing to listen to us too. So if something's uncomfortable or someone wants something taken out, they're always, like, super helpful and ready to change whatever and help. So they've been just awesome too.
Yeah, like, going back to the on field with Matt as a coach, how How has he been as a coach? Or
yeah, he looks so terrible in this damn series though, because he's always like F this and F that, and you're like, oh well, I don't know. It's just Matt. Like, Matt's been great. I think Matt is he's awesome. Like, I've never had a coach that's like been able to put his arm around me and say like, oh, like love you, and like it's just he's awesome. Like, he makes me feel part of something bigger than myself. And I think that's why we've had so much success this year, is because of Matt himself and how he has been able to bring together a group of so many different people. And I mean, it's proof in the pudding, you know, like so many different cultures and countries and styles of football. And he was able to all bring us together for a season, and a quite successful first season. So I think he's a world-class coach. And I also just think the way he is able to read a player has been helpful. And working with women is so different working with men, because guys could get in like a brawl on the field and it's done. And then sometimes for women, they get in a brawl and it's not done. So like him being able to navigate and help us express ourselves and manage, I guess, different personalities. I mean, there's 20 of us, so we're not all bound to be rainbows and you know what I mean? So him being able to navigate that and bring us all together, he's been great. Yeah.
How has he, because you had a lot of injuries over the time of the season, how has he helped the team overcome those injuries with his squad being quite slim compared to others?
Yeah, I think he can't directly affect it with him not being a physio, but he's, you know, changed formations. He's brought in 2 players at the transfer window. I think he's really pushed hard to try to make us really successful this year. And he tries to debrief us on everything that we can see with our opponent. And he goes above and beyond. And I think he does do his best, but like he'll put together film through our film crew, and like he'll put together obviously the squad, and then how we're going to go about our formation and how to like kind of counteract the issues that we're having with injuries. And some players have done a really awesome job of trying to pick up different positions too throughout this year. And him being able to manage that and spot those players and be like, okay, she could play outside back, you know what I mean? Even though she's a center mid, or she can play a winger, you know what I mean? So I think he's done a really good job of trying to navigate those injuries.
And with Matt, I think he's won 2 Super Leagues with Liverpool before. Do you think West Ham could win it in the next few years?
Yeah, perhaps. I think we have the quality and the talent within the squad, and I also think Matt is a great coach, and so he will put together the squad that he sees fit, and he's going to just he'll do great things. I can't speak highly enough of Matt and all of West Ham. It's just been an awesome year. Obviously, there's been hiccups, but like again, every team has that, and it's been really an enjoyable year. And I think moving forward, they're going to do everything that they can.
Do you think you want to stay here for much longer, or will you want to try different leagues in Europe?
Yeah, I think I would love to stay in England. Right now, that's in the works. I don't know where I'm going to end up. But yeah, I would love to stay in England, and I think the league is growing. And like I said, it's going to be one of the best in the world. But I am open to playing in other leagues as well, because I think experience in different types of football grows you as a player, and it requires you to learn and adjust and be able to kind of thrive in different environments.
So like with the World Cup being this summer, what are your thoughts on it? Who do you think will win? Who you going to support? Really?
It's hard to say right now. I don't know if the U.S. is going to win this year. I used to be able to say with like 100% certainty, which sounds terrible. All of my teammates would want to punch me for saying that since we're such an international squad. But I don't know. I think the U.S. has been struggling to kind of find their identity and confidence, but I still think they're a very, very, very strong team, and they have tons of world-class players on it. And I think all of my teammates would want me to say them. So Cho's probably going to listen to this and be like, South Korea. And Scotty's going to be like, Scotland. And then, so everybody's going to want me to pull for them. But this year I think it's kind of an interesting year, because I think anyone can win it this year. Like, not anyone. I feel like England and, but then again, you always have those people that shock and they win. Course, so I really can't say this year is going to be an interesting one to watch. I think that's why it's super cool too, if you can be a part of it. Yeah.
Will it be? Are you gonna try to catch games there, or are you just gonna watch it from?
I think I'm gonna go back home just because, and I'm cringe because I want to go to France, but it's been a while away from home, and I want to just reset and I think recharge and get ready for whatever's coming next because the season has been so long. So, and I just I miss home.
So you're very homesick right now?
No. I'm enjoying my month here, I guess, because it's gonna be a month. And I went to Paris for the weekend, and I plan on going to Italy after season. So I've really enjoyed my time, but I think I need to just go home and reset. Like I have little sisters and nieces, and I miss life. I miss their birthdays. I miss everything. Right. So it's like, I need to catch up in such a short time. So
Will your family come to the FA Cup final?
So yesterday I got a phone call, and I was chatting with my parents, and they're like, well, we were going to keep it a surprise, but we're going to surprise you at Wembley, and we're coming to the game. And I was like, and of course I cried because I hate surprises. And originally they're like, we can't afford it. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Right.
But then they surprised me. So my parents will be here for the game, which is really, really cool.
Should be nice. If you win, it'd be more special.
Yeah, I think, I'm speechless of even thinking about it, but we got to focus. Games before that. We've got games.
What do you think, like, the FA can do to help bring more fans to your games, really? Because you're not getting a lot of people coming to. Even the Conti Cup final, there was only about 3,000 people.
Yeah.
What do you think the FA can do to bring more people into the women's game?
I think the way that they're going about marketing it to families is awesome because once you get families in, there's more people in general. And we are a pretty interesting, like, family environment, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think they need to work with the Premier League and sort out getting the men's games not at the same time as the women's.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge disservice to us, but can't say much about that because I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble. But other than that, I think we need to do a better job of trying to sort that out, I guess. Yeah.
With the season coming to the end, City playing Arsenal on the last game, who do you think will win the league for yourself?
I can't really say. I don't know. They're both very quality teams. I know one girl on Arsenal because it's my first year. So that's the only reason why I only know one. So I hope Arsenal will pull it off.
Yeah. If you go to men's football, do you watch much of the Premier League?
Yeah.
Or do you support
Last
any
night's
teams?
game was crazy.
Do you watch any teams? Do you support any teams?
I'm gonna be honest, no, because I'm not gonna bandwagon. I'm not gonna say that I'm like super rah-rah about one team. I do enjoy watching Man City play.
Yep.
I don't know. My brother's been a fan since we were younger, but I never thought they were that good. When we were younger, at least. It was like Chelsea, I think. My generation's Chelsea.
Chelsea, mine was probably Arsenal and Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
United,
But I like Eden Hazard, and I like the way he plays. So so that's why I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be like cringing when they listen to this because they're like, you don't have a group and you're saying all these different teams. But I enjoy the way I can appreciate some of the players and how they play. So
who do you think will win the league with it being quite tight, 1 point?
Dude, I don't know. But it's awesome to watch because everybody's like the last night's game. I don't know if you guys saw it. What the heck?
It was like 4 goals in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah, we were all sitting and eating, and then like 2 seconds later, I like look up and I have like a chicken wing in my mouth, and I'm like, what? It's like 5 minutes into the game, and then like 10 minutes go by, and I'm like, I think another goal. It was like 1-1. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then
it was 2-2 in like 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I was like, this is about to be one of the best games I've ever watched. Because more times than not, you watch a football game, it can be like 0-0, and you're like, great, mate.
Especially with the last goal, with VAR ruling it off, that changed the game completely. So I don't know how I feel about it, really.
Everybody's been tweeting about it this morning. I went on Twitter, and I was like, oh, God, everybody's pissed. So
Right, well.
Yeah.
So the last question is, do you have any last thing to say to bring fans to your games or just to support women's football, really?
Yeah, I think women's football is badass. Like, we're pretty cool people. I think that's why you felt a connection to some of the girls on the team. And I think It's a different style of football, and if you're looking for a change from your regular Premier League grind, then I think women's football is like an awesome way to see something cool and exciting and new. And I think we'd all appreciate the support, and I think it's cool to be a part of it too right now because it's super young. And get in early before you're a bandwagoner.
Thank you for speaking to me.
Of course.
And thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like it, tune in to the next episode.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.